Jirai, a student of Senko High School who is part of the literature club, is known for his delusional fantasies. Unexpectedly, he suddenly acquires extraordinary abilities that are similar to his chuuni tendencies. Half a year later, each member of the club has also developed their unique superpowers, which they put to the test during their monthly assessment. During a routine check on the club by Mayuri Kyuru, a member of the student council, she misinterprets Jirai's chunibyo antics and unintentionally discloses that she, too, possesses superpowers. Mayuri challenges the club to a showdown of superpowers, leveraging her capability to snatch Jirai's dark power, only to discover it to be nothing more than an ineffectual tepid flame. With the other members cautious not to display their powers in front of her, Sayumi effortlessly defeats Mayuri in a physical contest. Intrigued by the revelation that Mayuri learned about the club's powers from an anonymous message, the group becomes curious about the sender's identity. Mayuri receives a meticulously articulated letter from Jirai, aiming to christen her ability with the name Grateful Robber. However, due to a misreading, she interprets it as Grateful Lover, thinking the letter is a declaration of love. Consequently, she proudly declares herself as Jirai's girlfriend, leaving the entire club, including Jirai, utterly bewildered. As Jirai grapples with Mayuri's excessively affectionate gestures and the envious glares of the other girls, he eventually clarifies the situation to Mayuri. Unfortunately, Mayuri appears disheartened by the perceived rejection. Tomoyo Kanzaki steps in to lift Jirai's spirits during this moment of guilt, and he explains that he chose the name Grateful Lover for Mayuri's power to maintain consistency with the others and signify her as one of their friends. Subsequently, Jirai receives an email from Mayuri apologizing for the misunderstanding and accepting the name he assigned to her ability. The literature club enjoys a leisure day engaging in tennis, showcasing their unique abilities. Subsequently, as Jirai embarks on a quest to locate his misplaced bloody Bible, the other girls ponder his peculiar conduct, acknowledging his consistent assistance throughout. While recovering his book, Jirai encounters an alum named Hajime Kuryu, displaying a shared enthusiasm for chunibyo fantasies. It later comes to light that Hajime is Tomoyo's elder half-sibling, who had departed home a year ago. The following day, Chifuyu Himeki, an honorary literature club member, appears before Jirai, disclosing that she has officially withdrawn from elementary school. Jirai escorts Chifuyu back to her school, rendezvousing with her friend Madoka Kuki before returning to his own academic institution. Later, the club takes advantage of Chifuyu's world-create ability to don an array of cosplay outfits. Following this, Chifuyu's aunt and teacher, Shiharu Satomi, notes that Chifuyu had left school ahead of schedule. Subsequently, Chifuyu appears at Jirai's residence after a clash with Madoka, who advised her against spending time with the literature club. The situation exacerbates as Chifuyu struggles to disclose her powers to Madoka, leading her to believe that Chifuyu values them more than their friendship. Jirai attempts an unconventional approach to reconcile the two, but Chifuyu independently resolves the conflict with Shiharu's assistance, securing a matching plush to mend their relationship. Afterward, Chifuyu reveals that her desire to leave elementary school stemmed from an aspiration to advance grades and join high school alongside the other club members. Later, Jirai acquires a guitar for himself and puts it at stake in a game against Chifuyu. While recovering his bag later that day, Jirai discovers that Tomoyo harbors aspirations of becoming a light novel author. To his surprise, he finds himself genuinely supportive of her endeavor. The following day, Tomoyo experiences joy as she successfully clears the initial round of a light novel award. In celebration, Jirai extends an invitation for a weekend lunch. As the duo enjoys their time together, resembling what many might perceive as a date, Hatoko Koshikawa, a manipulator of elements, is taken aback to see them together. One day, while collaborating with the literature club members to craft a personalized video game for Jirai's birthday, Sayumi Takanashi, endowed with the ability to restore things to their original state, falls ill with a cold. Jirai pays her a visit at her residence, where he encounters her younger sister, Meiya. However, Sayumi's demeanor undergoes a sudden shift when Jirai mentions her past role as the student council member during middle school, which she currently isn't. The following day, after learning from Meiya about Sayumi's original desire to join the high school student council, Mayuri proposes a theory that Sayumi may have declined the opportunity due to her extraordinary powers. This prompts Jirai to recollect an incident from 10 months ago when Sayumi, suggesting the use of her root of origin ability to eliminate everyone's powers, clashed with Jirai, who opposed the idea. The outcome revealed that Sayumi's power couldn't erase Jirai's dark, as their powers were intrinsic parts of themselves. Sayumi subsequently clarifies that her abrupt change in attitude was solely due to medication, emphasizing that she harbors no regrets about rejecting the student council for the sake of her fellow club members. Hatoko receives an invitation to Jirai's residence to prepare dinner for him and his sister. However, her spirits dampen when Jirai opts to remain at school to discuss Tomoyo's writing. Frustrated by Jirai's refusal to share the details of his conversation with Tomoyo, Hatoko vents her anger, unleashing a tirade about her inability to comprehend his Chunibyo antics, no matter how earnestly she tries. She storms off in frustration. As Jirai sets out in search of Hatoko, he grapples with the worry that he might have inadvertently caused her stress throughout their interactions. Tomoyo intervenes, delivering a figurative slap of reality to Jirai and aiding in the search. Meanwhile, Hatoko encounters Hajime, who imparts wisdom about not obsessing over understanding Chunibyo. Subsequently, he employs his own power to render Hatoko unconscious. With Jirai facing challenges in locating Hatoko, Sayumi resolves to elevate her root of origin to the next level in order to track her down. A few weeks prior, Hajime employs his pinpoint abyss ability to overcome another individual with special powers, restoring him to his ordinary life devoid of any memory of his ability. It is disclosed that the manifestation of these unique abilities stems from a fairy war, a contest where superpowered individuals engage in battles for the amusement of a group of fairies. The last 8 participants left standing are promised a wish. One of these fairies, Lisha, informs Hajime's group of ability users, Fallen Black, that an organization named F is resisting the war, assigning Hajime the task of dismantling it. While Hajime rendezvous with Jirai, his second-in-command, Hitomi Sato, leads the group in an assault on F's headquarters. They encounter a mysterious girl rumored to possess an unstoppable ability, but Hajime clarifies that this girl is actually a new member known as System. In the present, it is revealed that Hajime's group mistakenly abducted Hatoko while attempting to acquire Sayumi for her healing ability. Meanwhile, Sayumi utilizes her root of origin to restore the literature club to its original state, safely teleporting Hatoko back to their side. Subsequently, Tomoyo dispels the confusion Hatoko experienced, and Jirai, in his unique way, issues an apology. While attempting to open a bag of potato chips, Jirai's Dark undergoes its next evolution. Later, while seeking Jirai's input on her finished novel, Tomoyo experiences embarrassment upon learning about a particular silver-haired girl who persuaded Jirai to persist in his Chunibyo lifestyle. Subsequently, after the girl's extract a promise from Jirai to refrain from using his awakened power ever again, Hatoko aids Tomoyo in her studies. The following day, Jirai makes a commitment with Chifuyu to accompany her to the pool during the summer break. Chifuyu discovers the possibility of harboring feelings for him, while another male classmate, Shizumu Sagami, approaches Sayumi with the idea of forming a connection with Jirai. Meanwhile, Hatoko discloses to Tomoyo her romantic feelings for Jirai and queries whether Tomoyo shares the same sentiment. While Jirai enjoys his pool outing with Chifuyu, Madoka endeavors to devise a plan to sour Chifuyu's opinion of him. To her surprise, Jirai consistently exceeds her expectations, earning admiration from Madoka. The subsequent day, Sayumi escorts Jirai to the exact pool, where Shizumu outfits her with a swimsuit purportedly designed to become transparent when wet. However, it turns out to be an ordinary swimsuit. Later that evening, Tomoyo attempts to invite Jirai to the pool, only to discover that he is embarking on a family vacation with Hatoko. Meanwhile, as Tomoyo reminisces about the initial encounter with Jirai during her Chunibyo phase, Hatoko endeavors to implement suggestions from a magazine to capture Jirai's affections during their vacation, albeit with limited success. Upon his return, Jirai extends an invitation to Tomoyo for a summer festival, where they engage in a heart-to-heart conversation and share the enchantment of watching fireworks. This experience prompts Tomoyo to recognize her own feelings of affection for Jirai. The following day, Mayuri, who had been apprehended by Neo Hajira the night before, rallies the literature club members together. She seizes Hatoko's ability and employs it against her. Mayuri appropriates Chifuyu's ability as she deploys it to shield Hatoko, prompting Tomoyo to aid the group's escape. Gathering at a karaoke box, they deduce that the Mayuri they faced was an imposter who seized control of her body. Jirai, acting independently, confronts the imposter and outwits her into stealing his enhanced Dark of the End. This maneuver triggers an unquenchable flame, scorching the user's hand indefinitely. The imposter is compelled to restore Mayuri to her body. Leveraging Chifuyu's powers, they sever the blazing hands and transport them to another dimension, where Sayumi proceeds to heal the injuries. Meanwhile, Hajime triumphs over Nea, who reverts to her original form, revealing that she had been manipulated and subsequently betrayed by Shizumu. And after the battle, Tomoyo and Hatoko decide to discuss their feelings for Jirai and how to eventually resolve them, but for now they decide to return back to the status quo. And this is all for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.